Who among us hasn't experienced this situation before? You're standing and looking for something in the closet for an hour. Let's say a single sock that's completely missing as if the ground swallowed it. When you give up on finding it, you call for your dear mom and say, "Mom, I can't find my sock in the closet. Do you know where it is?" She responds with the iconic phrase, "What if I come and find it for you?" Then, as she approaches the room, you start to sweat because you know she's going to find it. She enters the room, puts her hand in the closet, and pulls out the sock like a magician pulling a rabbit out of a hat. Welcome everyone. Before we start, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell so you receive our videos as soon as they're uploaded. The situation we just described happens to almost all of us, not just with socks, but with many things in our lives. Something could be right in front of your eyes one moment and then suddenly disappear from existence. It's enough to drive you crazy. The item was right there and now it's gone. But as soon as you stop looking for it and forget about it, the thing reappears as if by magic. This phenomenon has driven so many people crazy that it even has a name, the disappearing object phenomenon, DOP. If you search for this phenomenon online, you'll find strange stories. Some explanations suggest bizarre reasons, like a glitch in the matrix, implying that our world is not real but a simulation. And sometimes the system glitches and makes things disappear. When the system fixes itself, the things reappear. Other people suggest that items slip into another dimension or level of existence and then come back, but away from fantasy and fiction. Is there a real explanation for this phenomenon? There are several reasons. The first is related to memory, information processing, and focusing on a specific event. Let's take a simple example that happens to all of us. Imagine you're sitting at your desk writing something important, maybe doing homework or solving a problem for college. You're holding a pen and writing, and when you're done, you put the paper in a file and put it in your bag. Up to this point, everything is fine. Then you notice that you forgot to write your name on the paper. So you go back to the desk to get the pen you were just holding. And then the drama begins. The pen has disappeared without a trace. You search everywhere, lift books, look under the desk, and find nothing. What's happened, my friend? Is that your focus was entirely on the paper you were writing on, not on the things around you, even the pen you were using. So, when you got up to put the paper in your bag, you might have unconsciously thrown the pen somewhere random, put it in a drawer, placed it in another bag, or dropped it on the bed as you walked by. Your brain doesn't record these details because you weren't focused on them. You were focused on something else. The part of the brain responsible for routine activities isn't connected to the part responsible for conscious thought. So, no matter how hard you try to remember where you put the pen, you can't because you weren't aware that you moved it. This leads to the illusion that the pen has disappeared. You can apply this scenario to many other situations. The second reason we feel things have disappeared from in front of us is related to visual processing or visual confusion. A person on a website was sharing a story about a beloved water bottle whose cap went missing. She searched for it for several days, turning the house upside down, and couldn't find it. When she finally gave up, she found the cap in a very obvious place in a drawer she opened daily. The problem was not that the cap was missing, but that she had visual selective attention effects, which make the brain choose what we notice and what we don't, even if both things are in front of us. This happens for several reasons, the most important being that our visual processing sometimes relies on expectations rather than actual observation. That's why you might see something you're looking for but your brain says, "No, that can't be it." Because the brain chooses the easier path and relies on expectations rather than processing the information in front of you. Another reason for visual confusion is increased mental pressure. When you search intensely for something, your brain gets exhausted and your mind starts to scatter, making it hard to focus on details. The item you're looking for could be right in front of you, but you won't notice it. Similarly, stress and anxiety lead to the same results, so intense searching scatters the mind. These are the reasons why things seem to disappear in front of us, but why do they reappear suddenly without us even looking for them? The answer is simple. When you stop focusing on the lost item and stop searching for it, your stress and anxiety fade away. Your brain relaxes and opens up, allowing you to notice details you couldn't see before. So, when you're no longer in the bubble of intense searching, your observation skills increase, and this is why you can find something in the closet in seconds when you're not looking for it under pressure. Finally, psychologists say there are a few tricks we can use to avoid losing things in the first place. For example, Dr. Marilyn Dennis, a psychology professor at the University of Kentucky, suggests talking to yourself out loud when you put something down. saying, "I put my phone on the kitchen counter," or "I left my keys on the bed," like a crazy person. Talking to yourself out loud helps you remember where you put things and transfers the information from your unconscious mind to your conscious mind. Daniel Shatter, author of The 7 Sins of Memory, says that people naturally put things in the wrong places, which causes the problem. So, get used to always putting your important belongings in their proper place and never changing it. Hang keys on the hook by the door, put reading glasses in the right desk drawer, and place the remote on the table under the TV. If you do this and never change the place of these items, you'll find that things don't get lost as they used to. That's it for now. Who made it to the end? All of you who did are the best. Give us a like before you leave so we know how many of you made it to the end. And don't forget, if you have a question that keeps you up at night, write it in the comments under the video, and we'll answer it. Goodbye.